our next session, Risk, Resilience, Returns, the Art of Wealth Creation. We'll explore the strategies behind building lasting wealth in an ever-changing financial landscape. And to share the insights on this, I would like to now invite on stage Mr. Motilal Oswal, Group MD and CEO of Motilal Oswal Financial Services, a pioneer in India's investment ecosystem. Huge round of applause for our next guest to please be on the stage and to lead this discussion forward. Let me welcome on stage Mr. Siddharth Zarabi, editor of Business Today, to take this forward.
Good afternoon once again. Mr. Motilal Oswal is, many of you would perhaps recognize him because of the brand, one of the most famous brokerages in India. But let me say, he's more of a businessman than just a stock picker. And today on the conversation, I want to draw out some observations from him on wealth creation. But I want to start by asking you this question that is topmost on most people's mind. Are the Indian markets out of the danger zone? This week seems to have been very good after many weeks of pain.
Yeah, maybe market knew that I'm going to be invited here. So they have welcomed all of us here. Yeah, interesting times. So the market always we have seen, I have been in the market for last now about 40 years, 4 decades. And I've seen the market will keep going through ups and downs. That's the nature of the market. They're never going to be stable. And you see 1 week they're up 5%, in 6 months they're down about 15%, 6 to 8 months. So volatility is really actually increasing day by day. If I look at the trends for last maybe decade by decade, every decade, next decade is going to be far more volatile than what used to be in this. And because of geopolitical developments, because of so much happening in the social media, and a lot of kind of, I think, other parameters. So I'm not worried about this kind of market fall because, Siddharth, let's look at even 1 year returns are still positive today. I've seen the cycle where the markets have fallen without any reason by 20 to 25% in 1 year. And I've seen 4 cycles where the market has fallen by 40% in 1 year. And there may be some reasons, but I'm not worried. If you look at the fundamentals of the market, fundamentals of the economy, they remain strong. I think one of the major reasons what I would like to ascribe to this kind of correction is between 2020 to 24, the Nifty earnings were up CAGR of 26%. 26% year after year for 4 years. And this year, after 4 years kind of growth, now we are seeing kind of very muted growth at about anywhere between 4 to 5%. So that's one reason for the market to, I would say, consolidate here, take some breather, and then maybe for next couple of years, we'll have a very muted growth of anywhere between 10 to 15%, and we'll see what happens next.
Markets are all about wealth creation, and your story and the company that you have built also epitomizes wealth creation. In less than 4 decades, you've created multi-generational wealth. That goes without saying. But I want you to tell our audience here and those who are watching us, what was more difficult, the first 20-50 crore or the subsequent 500 crore?
I think any startup first 5 to 7 years are always going to be very, very challenging and difficult. But you try to find your own feet and try to understand what's happening. So that's where the fun is, that's where the challenge is for an entrepreneur. And then once you understand the game, once you see also some confidence in yourself as well as in your various stakeholders, being customers or employees, you start seeing and start planning for much bigger level of growth. So it's very exciting. I never thought when we started, the market size was very small. The index was, today it is about say 80,000, 77,000. It was 600 to 86,000 in 37 years. So you can see the magnitude and the size of the market and the opportunities for people like us, where I feel very lucky.
Did you ever imagine that you would have such phenomenal success and create so much wealth, not just for yourself, but for all your stakeholders?
Yeah, I never thought so. as I said, that I feel very, very lucky, and of course we have worked very hard. And when I look at my own business, we have basically the wealth creation happens for two stakeholders. One is for our customers through advisory, and second thing is for our shareholders where they invest in our company. And I think I would say the experience has been fantastic from any parameters in terms of return for the investors or return for our shareholders.
I want to discuss organization building, but before I do that, what is the difference, Mr. Oswal, between a startup founder and a chairman who's sort of running a large company, multi-decadal growth with a very large number of stakeholders? What's the difference between the two really in terms of running it and the mindset that goes into running the operations?
Yeah, you go through from a doer's mindset to a delegator's mindset. Because when you're a startup, you try to do everything yourself, and you will have very small team and very, very focused areas to really work upon. But once the organization become bigger and bigger, your priorities definitely change from first you do strategy, you do execution, you really try to hire people, everything you do. But then I think you make sure that if your aspirations are very large, then you invest into people, you invest into processes, you invest in really, I would say, the levers which will bring growth and sustainability for the organization. So your priority, I would say, keep shifting from between 5 feet to 50,000 feet. And still today, it just keeps shuffling between 5 to 50,000.
Are these the building blocks of building a successful organization, or would you add some more things to the mix?
I think there are many blocks to build an organization. I think it all starts with your own passion and vision, and then you set the value system once you really have some people joining you. So your vision and values become absolutely very, very critical for your sustainability for future. And then your biggest challenge is really getting or attracting and retaining the best talent. And I think the values, culture, talent, and your aspirations, these are the, I would say, few blocks which are very, very important for any organization.
So, Oswal, you are in a business where trust is fundamental to the way you operate. You manage people's money, and the people who you employ to do all of that also have to be above board. I wonder if you can share with our audience any learnings with regard to this very peculiar kind of business, stock market, brokerage, regulatory oversight, compliances, disclosures, and walking the tight path, knowing that you cannot do any insider trading and all of those things. What are the learnings that you can share with us here?
As you said rightly, when you play with people's money, play means when you advise and manage such a large money, it's very important that not only you follow the values, but each and every person who advises your customers, who deals with your customers. Like we have got 14,000 employees today. We have a large number of distributors and partners we work with. So the biggest challenge for us to make sure that at every touch point, the values absolutely are followed. And that's where you, of course, the culture starts from the top, but then I think you build in certain system, processes, governance, the learning practices to make sure that at every touch point, the customer experience as well as the behavior of the people absolutely remain flawless.
Since we are talking about the markets, and we've seen in previous sessions also this matter came up, and I want to get you to speak about it. And this is the average Aam Aadmi Indian stock investor. Ashish Chauhan of the National Stock Exchange shared those phenomenal numbers. And if you look at it in household terms, like he said, almost 26% of Indian households have direct exposure to the equity markets. Given that, do you think the way technology, and the large firms, trading technologies, research, and all of that come together, are the odds stacked against the small investor? Can he never win against the big boys in the trade?
See, how do you define, Siddharth, first the small investor? Because in market, you got all kind of investors or speculators or traders or hedgers or the institutional investors. So there are different kind of, I think, customers coming in with very different needs, but they come to the same market, same platform. So it is very, very important for us to understand the profile of the person. Small investor may put, say, 100 rupees SIP every month, and small investor also can invest kind of, I think, direct money into the IPOs or into the stocks. So when we look at the large number of customers, when we keep looking at the data, most of the new investors, the retail side, they either come to the IPO market or they come through the SIP today, but earlier they used to come to the IPO or mostly when the market used to be rising. If you look at last 5 years kind of, I think, rise, where the demat account has gone 4 times actually. It's only because of the rising trend in the market and of course financialization of savings and technological advancement or thanks to the technology and mobility which really people have been able to achieve. But if I have to look at the people who have made money, it is only the people who have invested into the either the mutual funds or into the stocks for long term, which is unfortunately a very small minority of the people. Most of the people actually have gone into speculating part or the shorter term investing, shorter term trading I will call it, and that's where the people go wrong. Fundamentals of the market, people have forgotten that here the money can be made only in long term by buying into the right companies or maybe into the funds. But people have become more traders, and that's where the bigger problem is today.
Do you support what has been done to sort of curb some of the most excessive speculative tendencies in the market? The regulator has acted, more measures are coming. What's your view on this as an expert in this space?
See, any measure coming in from the regulatory side at least will have very short-term impact. But market finds its own kind of course, or the investors find its own ways, because when they want to trade, when they want to invest, they will find the ways to really, I think, make sure that they come to the market. The fundamental part of why people come to the market, either they are greedy or they have savings for long term. But unfortunate part is there are more greedy people today than the long term savers. And this greed means really you end up going into speculative activities, you end up investing into very unknown companies, and that's where you burn your hands.
Does anything need to be done to change that?
I think market really is becoming much more matured. The level of education and awareness also is happening a lot. And some of the positive trends which I've seen, one is huge amount of money is coming through SIP, which is really, I think, really long-term money. In 4 years, the SIP actually amount, which used to be 4,000 crores a month, today is 25,000 crores a month. So millions of people, new people are coming through the SIP road, which itself, I would say, is a very, very healthy practice. And second thing is really the governance part, the regulatory part. When I started, there was no regulations. There were no kind of, I think, any bylaws for us to really, I think, declare whatever kind of, I think, even what brokerage is being charged, that was not also being disclosed. So now, thanks to the governance, thanks to the technology, and thanks to even really, I think, very healthy competitive scenario here, so things are falling in place, but I think a lot need to be really to be worked from here.
You know, market masters like you are recognized for being able to spot trends before they emerge on the horizon. On a broader basis, given the size of the Indian economy, given what is happening, and hopefully a focus on deregulation which should help our entrepreneurship and reduce bureaucratic controls on our economy, what are the major trends, Mr. Oswal, that you see will dominate our economy and therefore our markets in the next 5 to 10 years?
See, when we look at what are the new trends in the market, you look at, apart from the regulatory changes, you see huge number of product innovations happening. That's really very interesting from the people's perspective. They got choice of products, but that also had a lot of confusion for the masses. So you need an army of well-trained people to make sure that the right advice is given to the right people by understanding their profile. So, and it takes time. When I look at my own company to get the people trained, because it takes a lot of time and people have to go through the cycle for them to really understand the impact of the market. If you see last 5 to 6 years, 80% of the investors are completely new, and maybe 75% of our employees also will be new who have not seen the really bad cycle, except COVID, which was for just few months. So you have to really, I think, go through that kind of learning curve for you to make sure that you are able to understand the dynamics of the market, investors need, and give them the product and the advice which is actually suitable for them. So that's very, very important from that perspective. From the capital market perspective, there are a lot of kind of, I think, new things are happening, new products are coming, like REITs are coming in. That's again really new asset class which is being developed. On precious metals, gold and silver, those kind of products are coming in. From currency and the commodities, there are a lot of new products are coming in. So these are the things which are actually taking the market to a very, very different level of complexity and size.
What role does taxation have in the future with regard to market sentiment? A section of opinion says that taxation decisions by the central government spoiled the mood in the markets, and FIIs for that reason and other reasons have pulled out. Is there a need to relook this at any point of time?
See, just look at what is the FII's behavior. Today, FII's cumulative assets may be about $800 billion worth of assets they are still holding. They have just sold about $15 billion worth of equities in last maybe 13-14 months. Just 2%. Just 2%.
Just 2% sale has led to this kind.
No, but look at the other side. For every selling, there will be a buyer. So if FII sold about $14-15 billion, $18 billion of investments have come from domestic institutions. So they are now counter forces to the FIIs, but I don't think so that FII selling will really make the market impact, because FIIs are selling, institutions are coming in, HNIs are coming in. So it is the earnings of the market which actually set the tone for the market in medium to long term.
हमारा बाजार अब आत्मनिर्भर बाजार बन गया.
I don't know what is the definition of Atmanirbhar, but you see that when, say 10 years back, FI used to really buy and market used to go up, they used to sell, they used to go down, because the domestic institutions were very small. Today, SIP money, SIP money itself is about 25,000 crores a month. So that has become the counter force to that. So it is good balance between the international money, domestic money, the family offices, and of course the retail money.
Absolutely, and the role of technology, regulatory institutions, frameworks that allow so much money to come in every month, Mr. Oswal, not just foreign money, but domestic Indian money. The evolution of our markets is spectacular in that sense. I want to turn this conversation to a little known facet, at least people outside Mumbai might not know, which is about your philanthropy. I don't know how many people here know about the very large and substantial sums of money that Mr. Oswal is reputed to donate, including to IIT Mumbai. How important is it to give back to society, and what goals have you set for yourself at this stage in your career and life?
See, Siddharth, in philanthropy, we are just learning the game. There are veterans here. I think Anuma ma'am just left, but there are veterans here, and we need to learn a lot from them. But when I look at the life, I think I've been very, very lucky. We never thought that we will create so much wealth for ourselves and we'll create an institution like this today. And somebody invested, and somebody really, I think, invested into the educations or the hostels where I was the beneficiary. So it is always kind of, I think, something really keeps you thinking that can we give it some portion, give it something back to the society where we have got so much from there. So about 2 years back, me and Ramdev, we own about 60% of the equity, the listed firm. So we have now put 10% of the equity into our foundation as commitment to be spent in next 10 years. So I would say we are a student of philanthropy. We're just learning the game. We just, I think, committed about 300 crores plus in last 12 months. The idea is to spend this 10% of the equity into next 9 to 10 years. And I think that is a social obligation which we really feel that it is important. And I think this is just the beginning. Hopefully, we should really be able to do more.
One final quick point. What would you like your legacy to be known as, just beyond wealth creation? Because a lot of people might just recognize you for that, but what do you want your legacy to be?
I think I'm an entrepreneur by heart, right? So I still feel like that, although it is 37 years, but I still work like a startup. You feel energetic every day, you work maybe 10, 11 hours a day, Monday to Saturday. So I think the India, I would say, the entrepreneurship power is immense. And there's so much has been really wealth, employment has been created by the entrepreneurs, and it is just the beginning. So my salute to the entrepreneurship strip and the NGO spirit in the country, which really I think both, I would say, spirit actually are contributing a lot in the nation building.
A round of applause for Motilal Oswal.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time with us today.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oswal. It's been a privilege to listen to you. Can I please request you to...